Confused about where to start on your spiritual journey? Well, I have 5 techniques that you can use starting today. Hey, I'm Brandy Joy, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button so you can learn more about the art and science of magic. There are thousands of spiritual techniques and schools of thought out there. So where do you start? I'm going to go ahead and give you 5 of those techniques that will really get you going. The first technique I want to share with you is called dream control. Dream control is important. When you start working with dream control, you are working with the astral plane or astral dimension. And the astral dimension is the first area of spirit where you start really using your psychic senses and getting into the higher dimensions in the work there. Your dreams, they speak to you. They give you messages. Even sometimes they'll tell you something that's coming. They'll warn you about things. And if you have a hard time with really remembering your dreams, well, I'm going to tell you how to fix that. So with dream control, you want to start with dream journaling. And I know that sounds like, oh, what do I want a dream journal for, just so I can remember? No, actually, it helps you to become more and more connected to your dreams. So that once you start dream journaling, let's say you remember like one little thing from last night. And then after you've been doing this for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, all of a sudden you're writing like 10 pages of your dreams. Oh yeah, 10, 20 pages. That's what I used to do all the time when I did a lot of this dream journaling. I still do dream journaling, but not to the extent as when I was learning to develop my astral work. So start there with dream journaling. And what you want to do is you want to write down everything that you remember in the present tense. You don't want to write it in the past tense, like, oh, this happened, that happened, this person did this. Write it in the present tense. I feel this way in this dream. This is happening right now. And just right when you wake up, this is the big key. Don't let your feet hit the floor before you start dream journaling in the morning or in the middle of the night. As soon as you wake up, you grab that journal and you start journaling. So now you're dream journaling. This is important. You have to be dream journaling to start getting dream control. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is called lucid dreaming. Now, you don't have to lucid dream to have dream control. I'm going to give you another way, but lucid dreaming it's actually a pretty easy technique. It just takes time and consistency. That's all. I started doing lucid dreaming at about 12, 13 years old. And what I would do is I wanted to be able to control my dreams. I was just a bit of a control freak. So at night before I would go to bed, I would tell myself every night as I was falling asleep, I am going to know that I am dreaming. I am going to remember that I am dreaming. I am going to know that I am dreaming. And I would just keep telling myself that over and over, and I would stay focused. That is how you lucid dream. All of a sudden, while you're in a dream, you'll start becoming more conscious of the dream. And the more you do it, the more conscious you become in the dream. Another little method for dream control is to actually, it's called dream incubation. It's a little bit different than lucid dreaming. This is where you make yourself dream something. With dream control and incubation, all you're going to do is you are going to focus on a scene or some type of dream you want to have. I mean, maybe you want to go somewhere in the world like New Zealand or Iceland or I don't know, Florida, right? You want to go to the beach. Start really focusing on that as you're going to sleep. Really focus on that. You can even take like something that symbolizes it or a picture or something, and you could put it under your pillow or under the mattress. And that vibration will be there and you stay focused on it. And so you start creating your dream, right? And this is helping you to get more connected with the astral, which is part of dream world, which is where your psychic senses are. The next technique that you can use to really just begin your spiritual work, your spiritual journey, is to use what's called in yoga and tantric yoga, it's called Trataka. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right because I am not from India, right? But Trataka is really just single pointed focus meditation. All right. And so what you're going to do is you can use one of these 2 tools primarily to do this kind of work, the single focused meditation exercise. This right here is what we call a Tattva card. Sometimes we call it Tattva card. All right. Either way. But the Trataka card it's symbolic of the elements. And this is a flashing Trataka card. I designed these, me and my partner Jackie designed these. So you can actually paint your own if you want to. You can draw your own, or you can actually buy them sometimes from people. They're kind of hard to find. But this one right here, you can see we have a circle for water, and then we have the crescent moon here. Or no, sorry, air, and then crescent moon for water. And what you would do is you would just stare at this for 5 minutes. And every time you start wandering or thinking about something else, you just keep pulling yourself back to that focus, that one thing, just focusing on it. 5 minutes you start with this. And once you can hit 5 minutes of single pointed focus, then you want to start working with 10 minutes. And then you want to go up. Some people go up to 60 minutes. I've never actually gone up to 60 minutes. I would suggest if you can get up to 30 minutes, you're doing excellent, okay? Another thing, my mom actually prefers to use the candle method. The candle method is when you light it up and you just stare at the flame, right? So with this one, for instance, we would just take it here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set it down in front of me right here. Now you don't want it to be too low or too high. And you really just want to focus on the flame. And you just stare at it and you stay fixated on it again for the 5 minutes and then the 30 minutes. All right. So that's it. That is Trataka, also just called single pointed meditation technique. It will help you to gain control over your mind and create more stillness in the mind, which is fantastic for getting information from the astral realm. Because once you quiet the mental, the mind, the thoughts, then the real information can start coming through. Next, we have one of my favorite type of techniques. This one I suggest using all of the time, every single day. It's called pranayama. Pranayama is breath work, and breath work will help you to, what it will do is it will bring your brainwave state and down into an alpha state. An alpha brainwave state is a slower brainwave state. It slows everything down and takes you into this peaceful, wakeful relaxation state. But there's a trick to pranayama, okay? A lot of times people just think, oh, breath work, that just means you breathe, right? Not really. Pranayama, there are certain techniques and exercises. I teach Tantra, okay? I teach tantric exercises, kundalini awakening exercises, and chakra opening exercises. The breath you want to use is called bliss breath, or sometimes it's called ocean breath. It's called a few different things, but it's where you constrict your airway, your throat, right? So I always tell everyone to put their hand here on the muscle of the throat so you can kind of just feel it. And then when you breathe in, I want you to breathe in and out through your nose, and I want you to do it very slowly and very loud with your throat. So sometimes I just say it sounds like Darth Vader is breathing. Okay, so it's like this. It's like, and so you could see how it tightened up, and that's why I tell you to put your hand there so you can feel that tightness, right? And then when you exhale, same thing. Make noise, right? I kind of growled. So breathe in. Right? And what you want to do is count. So minimum of 4, right? Exhale. If you can do 8 count, then you're doing it right. Okay, so once you get the breath like that, where you can actually do bliss breath correctly, now you can start doing the different pranayama techniques like breath of fire and alternate nostril breathing, humming bee breath, 3 chakra lock. Oh, there's so many pranayama exercises, okay? The more you do them, the more you go into a nice relaxed state. And it only takes you a few minutes. If you do like even 5 minutes, I mean, even less than 5 minutes of breath work, I'm telling you, you drop right down and you're in a better vibration. You're in a slower brainwave state. You're very relaxed. Your nervous system relaxes. And you should do that at least once a day. So pranayama is an exercise. It's a technique to get you to the point where you relax, where you go into a little bit more of that dream or astral type of state. This is when someone is really good at psychic work, they can will themselves very quickly into this lower brainwave state, this alpha state. And once you get used to doing it, you can do it quicker and quicker and quicker. So I definitely want to encourage you to use pranayama no matter what else you do. Use pranayama every day, and I'm telling you, your spiritual stuff is going to start getting enhanced. Okay, the fourth technique is one of my favorites. Oh, you all know I love this. Alchemical rituals. I'm an alchemist. It is my favorite thing to do in the world. So, alchemical rituals, let's talk about it. Alchemical rituals actually purify your energy. They expand your aura, clear your chakras, move energy, and help you develop very quick psychic enhancement. If you want to start working with spirit and astral and your higher self, alchemical rituals, they're going to get you there real quick. And my favorite formula is this: Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram. Video is linked here in the description. Definitely watch my LBRP video if you've never seen it before. That is the basic, the essential alchemical ritual. It banishes or clears your energy, but it also invokes energy and so that your aura expands, okay? And then after you do LBRP, we have Banishing Ritual of the Hexagram, we have the Rosy Cross, we have Middle Pillar, and we have Circulation Body of Light. Those are my favorite rituals, alchemical rituals to do. So if you'll do alchemical rituals, if you'll try those out, just start with the Kabbalistic Cross, which is the beginning part of the Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram, and practice that for a little while. And then once you get good at the Kabbalistic Cross and comfortable, start doing the next part of the LBRP. And then finally, you'll want to do the very end part, which is the invocation of the 4 archangels, right? So if you can just start doing the alchemical rituals, you want to talk about your psychic abilities taking off, you connecting with the astral, your higher self, really enhancing your dreams, and you just feeling really great. It raises your vibration like that. Okay, so our final technique has to do with enhancing your sixth sense, which is your senses on the astral level, on the astral plane. So this technique is called sensation training. And sensation training is where you enhance all of your senses, your regular senses like vision, hearing, touch, smell, sound. You enhance your senses so that you become more sensitive to the astral realm. Okay, so how does this work? Well, I'm going to give you the first exercise real quick for sensation training, and that is to develop your clairvoyance, the ability or clarity of seeing, to be able to visualize better, right? There's a lot of different ways you can do this, but one of my favorites is to use the Tatwa cards. And so what you do is you stare at the Tatwa card, and you just practice this daily. You just stare at it. And after you stare at it for about 2 minutes, and you try not to blink as much as possible, and some teachers will even tell you, let the tears come and just keep on staring and try to force your eyes open. I don't usually do that. Sometimes I've done it a little bit, but I usually I let myself blink a little bit every once in a while. But once you stare at it for a little while, this is a flashing Tatwa card, because what happens is as you stare at it, all of a sudden it will like brighten, and it'll look like all of a sudden like you see this over here and it's like moving, and you'll see just some weird stuff happening. And then close your eyes, and then you imagine, you don't even have to imagine, actually close your eyes and you'll see this in your mind's eye. But this one, the blue, will actually become orange. So you'll see an orange circle here in your mind's eye. Another thing that you can do to enhance that clairvoyance, that psychic sense of seeing, is to stare at a tarot card and then close your eyes, like sit here and scan it. You can scan it by just looking at it and going across with your eyes back and forth so you see everything. And then you want to close your eyes and you imagine that you're in the scene and you can see everything out, and just go through a visualization where you're in the card. That is astral work, okay? So that one will help you with clairvoyance, and it will also help you develop that sense with the astral. Remember, all of your senses are also psychic senses on the astral. So I'm not going to go into all the sensation training exercises, but I will tell you clairaudience, psychic hearing. One of the ways that you can develop that is to sit outside where the wind is blowing, you're sitting by a tree or something like that, and just listen. Listen for a while and see how far you can hear, and hear everything that you can hear. Leaves blowing in the wind, right? And just focus on that sense. If you can do that for 15 to 30 minutes, that will help to enhance your clairaudience, where then you can actually hear yourself in terms of like the psychic self, the higher self. If you would like to learn more of these techniques, step by step with me. I do have a membership called the Magical Mystery School at brandyjoy.com. I would love to have you in there. It is open. You're welcome to join us anytime. And we have a lot of fun. I go live pretty much every single week with everyone. We have a private chat and a step-by-step video program and lots of handouts and quizzes and fun stuff that keeps you on your toes and always doing your great work. So I hope to see you in there.